Hi guys, I'm Kent McCormick. I am the Restoration Initiatives Director with YWAM San Francisco in the Tenderloin District of San Francisco. And I'm really excited to talk with you guys today about street outreach because it's something that I've been passionate about for most of my adult life. I've been doing street outreach among the unhoused for the last 13 years. And I'm so excited to see and meet so many people that are passionate about reaching the lost and inviting people into wholeness. Before we get into the nitty-gritty of the do's and don'ts of what we do on street outreach, the first thing I want to do is just define success. So success for us while we're out on the streets is we want to have an impact that outlasts us. We want to have an impact that goes beyond today, that goes beyond an hour or 2 hour walk on the streets. And we want to build bridges from the streets to incredible resources that can transform lives. Now I'd like to get into some specific guidelines that will help us work towards that vision of success while we're out on the streets today. These are just some North Stars, some guide rails that will really help us be successful today. First, I want to say we're going out in groups today, and we're going to go out in groups of 3 or more. Most of those groups will consist of an outreach captain and then a few of your fellow street outreach workers. And you're going to go out and you're going to help us build bridges to these resources, help us work towards success. Really important aspect of that is we want to make sure that we always stay together. So we're going out in groups. We want to make sure that while we're out there, we stay with our groups the whole time, and we come back with our groups on time. While we're on the streets today, I want to make sure that we're always polite and that we always ask permission. We don't want to assume that just because someone's staying on a sidewalk that they owe us their time or they owe us a conversation. We want to go out today, we want to get to know people, and we want to treat them with dignity and respect. And part of that is respecting people's boundaries. Some people will be very receptive to what we're talking about today and the resources that we're offering. Other people will be less receptive. That's okay. Our goal is to be polite and ask people for their time and not insist on it. One of the things we ask of our outreach teams is that while we're on the street, if you encounter a situation that is unsafe, you see someone in the middle of a fight or you see people dealing drugs, we ask people not to get involved in those situations. Sort of a hard ask, right? Never break up a fight or a drug deal. If you see someone in an unsafe situation or you see something unsafe happening on the street, and you feel like it's an emergency, our ask is that you communicate with your outreach captain, and then together you can go into a corner store or a business and call the police and let the police come and de-escalate the situation. And one of the reasons for that is without meaning to, you can accidentally really escalate a situation by adding more bodies to it. So simple ask, don't break up fights. If you're uncomfortable, it's okay to leave. I think this environment, street outreach, can be a little bit uncomfortable, and that's okay. And that's my encouragement for you today, is it's okay to be uncomfortable. That said, if you're in a situation that makes you uncomfortable or makes you feel unsafe or someone's being inappropriate with you, it's okay. Just tell your outreach captain, hey, I'm a little uncomfortable. Can we move on? And my ask is that everyone in the group listens to that, everyone in the group respects that, and you move on. And even if you're out there today and you're like, man, this is a lot to take in, I don't know if I can keep doing this, just communicate with your outreach captain. They'll come drop you off at our starting location, and then they'll continue the outreach without you. But it's okay to be uncomfortable. We're all going to stretch ourselves a little bit. We're all going to grow today. We ask that while you're doing street outreach with us that we don't give away money. Again, our goal is we want to build bridges that last a lifetime, right? And sometimes if we set the precedent that our outreach teams are handing out money every time we go out, it can distract from the purpose of what we're doing today. So I always say we want to point people to resources rather than handing out money. One of the ways that we maintain the dignity of the people we're interacting with on the streets is we ask our street outreach workers not to take pictures while we're out on the streets and to just leave their phones in their pockets. Without meaning to, you can really, really offend someone. And we don't want to treat our neighborhood like it's a zoo. We don't want to go out gawking at people, and we don't want to take pictures. So one of the ways that we maintain the dignity of our neighbors in our neighborhood is by not taking pictures of them. While we're out on the streets today, I want to make sure that we're not talking about the interactions that we have on the streets. This is really important. You might have a great interaction with someone and you might be really eager to share about it, but sometimes if you share about it on the street, you can inadvertently really offend someone by talking about them. You don't know who can overhear that conversation. And we want to make sure that if we really want to share about an interaction that we've had on the streets today, that we wait to do that until we're back debriefing at the end of the outreach. While we're on the streets today, let's make sure that we guard our reactions. I think you might see some things that are shocking. You might see some things that are offensive. You might see some things that make you want to laugh. But again, one of the ways that we protect the dignity of our unhoused friends is we guard our facial reactions. So we just want to make sure that we are guarding our reactions while we're on the streets so we don't accidentally offend people. One of the things we really want to be aware of while we're on the streets today is keeping clear of business entrances and hotel entrances and stuff like that. We want to make sure that people can get in and out of their buildings and pass through the sidewalk unobstructed. A good rule of thumb, make sure that there's enough room for a wheelchair to pass through at all times. You might be really connecting with someone, but just practice a little spatial awareness and make sure there's room for people to get in and out of buildings. An essential aspect of what we do when we're doing street outreach is we want to make sure that we're connecting people to resources. Like I said, we want to have an impact that outlasts us. There are a lot of great organizations and individuals in the neighborhood we're doing outreach in today that are doing the kind of work we're doing right now, but every day, all the time, and that have access to resources that we don't have. So we want to make sure that we have long vision for our interactions today. And we want to make sure that we connect people to those organizations. Your street outreach captain will be very equipped to do this. And so look to them for some guidance. And again, our goal, we want to have an impact that outlasts us. One of the ways we do that is by connecting them to resources that are here all the time. Now that we've sort of talked through all the guidelines and we've got all the rules out of the way, my hope for you is that you feel really equipped. My hope for you is that you're excited and that you are eager to come down and join us for a street outreach. If you have any questions or you have comments or concerns before we hit the streets, you don't have to have all those answers right now. You can ask our street outreach coordinator when you arrive on outreach day, and hopefully we'll have all the answers to all the questions that you have. Really, really excited to go out and love our neighbors with you guys. It should be an awesome experience.